Captain Sarah Chen stood on the bridge of the UNS Determination, watching the stars through the main screen. The ship had been traveling through space for 6 months now, far from Earth. They were here to study new planets and map the galaxy. Sarah had dreamed of this mission her whole life. "Captain, we're getting strange readings," said Lieutenant Kim from her station. Her fingers moved quickly over the control panel. "Something big is coming out of faster-than-light travel." Sarah walked over to look at the data. The numbers showed something massive approaching their position. "How big are we talking about?" "Much bigger than our ship, Captain. Actually, it looks like multiple ships." Dr. Marcus Webb, the chief science officer, looked up from his console. His face was pale. "Captain, I count 37 separate vessels. They're enormous." Sarah felt her stomach drop. The Determination was alone out here, millions of miles from Earth. If these were hostile ships, her crew of 200 people would be in serious trouble. "All stations, yellow alert," Sarah ordered. "I want full sensor scans of those ships. Find out everything you can about them." The bridge crew worked quickly. Sarah watched as the alien ships appeared on the main screen. They were beautiful in a terrifying way. The ships looked like they were made of crystal, shining with their own light. Each one was at least 5 times bigger than the Determination. "Captain, they're trying to communicate with us," said Communications Officer Torres. "It's coming through our radio systems. Put it on speaker." A voice filled the bridge. It sounded like multiple people speaking at once with a strange echo. The words were in perfect English, which surprised everyone. "Primitive vessel of the species called humans. You are trespassing in space that belongs to the hegemony of Siltar. Your home world Earth is now under our protection. You will surrender your ship immediately." Sarah looked around at her crew. Their faces showed the same shock she felt. These aliens knew about Earth. They knew about humans, and they were making demands. "This is Captain Sarah Chen of the United Nations Ship Determination," she replied. "We come in peace. We're here for scientific research only. We mean no harm to you or your people." The alien voice came back, sounding angry. "You are children playing with tools you do not understand. Your species should not be in space for at least 300 more years. You are not ready." Sarah tried to stay calm. "We'd like to talk about this. Perhaps we can reach an understanding. There is nothing to discuss. You have 1 hour to surrender your ship and crew. If you refuse, we will demonstrate why the galaxy fears Siltar weapons. We will then return to your Earth and place it under proper management." The communication ended. The bridge was silent for a long moment. "Did they just threaten to invade Earth?" asked Dr. Webb. Sarah nodded. "It sounds like it." She turned to Torres. "Open a quantum channel to Earth Command. Priority 1. While Torres worked to establish the connection, Sarah called her senior staff to the bridge. Chief Engineer Rosa Martinez arrived first, followed by Security Chief Commander Jackson. "What's our situation, Captain?" Martinez asked. Sarah explained what had happened. As she spoke, she watched the alien ships move into what looked like an attack formation around the Determination. "Captain, I have Earth Command," Torres announced. Admiral Harrison's face appeared on the screen. He looked tired, but his eyes were sharp. "Captain Chen, we received your initial report. Are you saying we have first contact with hostile aliens?" "Yes, sir. 37 ships, much larger than ours. They're demanding we surrender, and they've threatened Earth." The Admiral was quiet for a moment. "Captain, Earth's defense fleet won't be ready for another 2 years. If these aliens decide to attack our homeworld, we can't stop them. What are your orders, sir?" "Use your best judgment, Captain. You're our only representative out there. Try diplomacy first, but protect your crew and ship." The connection ended. Sarah looked at her officers. They were all watching her, waiting for orders. "Captain," said Dr. Webb, "I've been studying their ships. The crystal-like material appears to be some kind of advanced technology. Their energy readings are off the charts." "Can we fight them if we have to?" Sarah asked. Commander Jackson shook his head. "Not with conventional weapons. They outgun us by at least 50 to 1. Chief Martinez spoke up. "Captain, the Determination wasn't built for fighting. We're an exploration ship with mining equipment. But our shields are strong, And our power systems are more advanced than anything Earth has ever built. Sarah nodded. Dr. Webb, I want you to study everything you can about their technology. Martinez, check all our systems, make sure everything is running perfectly. Captain, incoming message, Torres announced. The alien voice returned. Human vessel, 30 minutes remain. We grow tired of waiting. Surrender now or face the consequences. Sarah took a deep breath. This is Captain Chen. We're peaceful explorers. We don't want to fight you, but we also won't surrender to threats. If you attack us, we'll defend ourselves. The alien voice laughed. It was a cold, mechanical sound. You cannot defend against Siltar technology. Your ship is a toy compared to our weapons. Maybe, Sarah said, but humans don't give up easily. Another laugh. We shall see, primitive creature. 20 minutes remain. The communication ended again. Sarah turned to her crew. All hands, battle stations, she ordered. This is not a drill. We may be facing combat with superior forces. As the crew prepared for possible battle, Sarah stood at the center of the bridge. She thought about Earth millions of miles away. She thought about the billions of people who had no idea that aliens existed, let alone that they were being threatened. The alien ships moved closer. Their crystal hulls glowed brighter, and energy readings spiked on the sensors. Captain, Dr. Webb said quietly, I'm detecting massive power buildups in their weapon systems. Sarah nodded. How long until the deadline? 5 minutes, Captain. Sarah looked at the beautiful, deadly alien ships surrounding her vessel. Somewhere in those crystal ships were beings who thought humans were too primitive to travel in space. They were about to learn something important about humanity. Humans might be new to space travel, but they were not new to facing impossible odds. And they were very good at finding solutions to problems that seemed unsolvable. All stations, report. Ready, Sarah ordered. One by one, her officers reported that their systems were ready for whatever came next. Sarah sat in her captain's chair and waited. In a few minutes, she would find out if humanity's first meeting with aliens would end in peace or war. The timer on her display showed 2 minutes remaining. The alien ships powered up their weapons and pointed them directly at the determination. Sarah's hands were steady as she prepared to make the most important decision in human history. The deadline passed in silence. Sarah watched the countdown reach 0 and waited. The alien ships hung in space around them like glowing threats. But nothing happened. Then a bright flash lit up the darkness. Captain, Lieutenant Kim called out. They destroyed Probe 7. Sarah looked at the sensor display. One of their research probes, studying the system's star, was gone. Completely vaporized by an alien energy beam. That was a warning shot, Commander Jackson said grimly. The alien voice returned. Human Captain, we have demonstrated our power. Your primitive probe no longer exists. Surrender now, or the next target will be your ship. Sarah's jaw tightened. The probe had been collecting data about the star system. It was purely scientific, equipment no threat to anyone. But the aliens had destroyed it without hesitation. This is Captain Chen, she replied. That probe was conducting peaceful scientific research. There was no need to destroy it. Everything in this system belongs to the Siltar hegemony. Your presence here is theft. Submit to our authority. Sarah looked at her crew. She could see the anger in their faces. These aliens weren't just threatening them now. They had taken the first aggressive action. We cannot surrender our ship, Sarah said. But we're willing to leave this system and discuss this situation with our governments. Another flash. Probe 12 near the edge of the system disappeared. Your willingness is irrelevant, the alien commander said. High Arbiter Zekthul has decided. You will surrender or you will be destroyed. We are being generous by offering you this choice. Dr. Webb was studying his instruments carefully. Captain, he said quietly, when they fired at the probes, our sensors recorded everything. I'm getting detailed readings of their weapon systems. Sarah nodded slightly. That was something, at least. A third flash. Another probe gone. Each probe you destroy brings us closer to war, Sarah warned. The alien response was immediate and terrifying. A massive energy beam shot past the Determination's hull, close enough to make the ship shake from the energy discharge. That was your final warning, human, High Arbiter Zekthul announced. The next shot will not miss. You have proven your species is too aggressive for the galaxy. When we are finished here, we will visit your Earth and teach your people proper respect. Sarah felt something cold settle in her stomach. This wasn't just about her ship anymore. These aliens were planning to attack Earth. Dr. Webb, she said quietly, tell me you learned something useful from those weapon discharges. Webb's eyes were bright with excitement. Captain, their energy weapons use a specific frequency pattern. The beams are powerful, but they're also predictable. And when they fired that warning shot past our hull, our sensors got a perfect reading. What kind of reading? Everything. Weapon frequency, energy output, and most importantly, how their ship hulls respond to energy discharge. Webb paused. Captain, I think those crystal hulls might have a weakness. Chief Martinez looked up from her engineering console. What kind of weakness? The crystal material resonates when it's hit with energy. It's like a tuning fork. If you hit it with exactly the right frequency, the whole structure starts to vibrate. Sarah felt a spark of hope. Could we use that somehow? Maybe. Captain, our mining equipment uses quantum cascade beams to break up asteroids. If I could modify the frequency, how long would that take? Martinez checked her instruments. With the fabrication systems running at full power, maybe 20 minutes. The alien voice interrupted them. High Arbiter Zekthul grows impatient. You have 5 more minutes to surrender. After that, we will disable your engines and take your crew prisoner. Sarah made her decision. Dr. Webb, Martinez, start the modifications now. Do it quietly. Captain, Commander Jackson said, are you sure about this? If we're wrong about their weakness, we'll be starting a fight we can't win. Sarah looked at the tactical display showing 37 alien ships surrounding her vessel. Each one was massive compared to the Determination. Their weapons could probably destroy her ship with a single coordinated attack, but humans had survived and thrived by taking calculated risks and by learning from their enemies. Torres, scan all frequencies for other human ships in the area, Sarah ordered. Captain, there are no other human ships within 50 light years. Good. Then if this goes wrong, we won't be putting anyone else at risk. Dr. Webb was working frantically at his station. Captain, I'm analyzing the resonance patterns. The crystal hulls are beautiful, but they're also potentially unstable. If we can match the harmonic frequency exactly. English, Doctor. If we hit them with the right sound, their ships might fall apart. Martinez wiped sweat from her forehead. Captain, the modifications are complex. I need more time. Time we don't have. Do your best. The alien fleet began moving closer. All 37 ships arranged themselves in a perfect sphere around the Determination. Their crystal hulls glowed brighter as they charged their weapons. Final warning, humans, High Arbiter Zekthul announced. Surrender immediately or face destruction. Sarah stood up from her captain's chair. She looked around the bridge at her crew. These people had volunteered to explore the galaxy, to make peaceful contact with other species, to expand human knowledge. Instead, they were about to fight for humanity's right to exist in space. This is Captain Sarah Chen of the UNS Determination. She broadcast on all frequencies. We came here in peace. We offered to negotiate. You responded with threats and violence. If you attack this ship, we will defend ourselves with everything we have. The alien commander's voice turned cold. Your species is too primitive to understand the honor we offer you. Very well. We will demonstrate Siltar superiority, then drag your broken ship back to Earth as an example. One more thing, Sarah added. You made a mistake when you fired those warning shots. What mistake? You showed us how your weapons work, and you gave us time to figure out how to fight back. High Arbiter Zekthul laughed. Impossible. Your technology is centuries behind ours. Sarah smiled grimly. You're right. Our technology is different from yours. That's exactly why this is going to work. She turned to Martinez. Chief, are the modifications ready? As ready as they're going to be, Captain. Dr. Webb, do you have the resonance frequency? I think so, but Captain, this is all theoretical. We've never tested anything like this. Sarah nodded. Then we're about to run the most important experiment in human history. The alien ships finished charging their weapons. Energy readings spiked across the sensor displays. All human ships in the galaxy will learn from your destruction, High Arbiter Zekthol declared. Attack formation, fire at will. 37 alien ships unleashed their weapons at once. The space around the determination filled with deadly energy beams, all targeted at the small human vessel. Sarah gripped her chair. Shields up. Route all power to defensive systems. The energy beams struck the determination's shields in a blaze of light that could be seen from orbit of nearby planets. And then something unexpected happened. The ship didn't explode. The determination's shields blazed with captured energy, but the ship held together. More than that, it was actually absorbing the alien attack. Impossible. High Arbiter Zekthol's voice crackled over the communication system. No ship can withstand the combined firepower of 12 Siltar vessels. Captain Sarah Chen smiled as she watched the energy readings on her display. The shields weren't just holding. They were converting the alien weapons fire into power for the ship's systems. Martinez, report, Sarah ordered. Captain, shield efficiency is at 130%. The alien weapons are actually charging our power cells. Chief Engineer Rosa Martinez looked amazed at her own instruments. Whoever designed their energy weapons never considered that someone might build shields to absorb and redirect energy, instead of just blocking it. Dr. Webb was practically bouncing at his station. Captain, this is perfect. Their weapons use a specific energy frequency. Our shields were designed to capture and convert exactly that type of energy for our mining operations. The alien commander tried again. Impossible, increase firepower. All ships target the human vessel. The remaining 25 alien ships opened fire. Even more energy beams struck the determination. The small human ship disappeared inside a ball of blazing light. But when the light faded, the ship was still there, still whole, still absorbing every bit of energy the aliens threw at it. Captain, our power systems are at 200% capacity, Martinez reported. We've never had this much energy available. Sarah opened a channel to the alien fleet. High Arbiter Zekthul, you're making the same mistake that many people have made throughout human history. What mistake? The alien commander sounded confused and angry. You assumed we would build our ships the same way you build yours. You assumed our technology would work the same way your technology works. Sarah paused. But humans don't copy other people's designs. We solve problems our own way. Dr. Webb looked up from his calculations. Captain, the quantum cascade mining array is ready. I've modified the frequency to match the harmonic resonance of their crystal hulls. How confident are you that this will work? Webb hesitated. Honestly, Captain, this is all theory. We're essentially trying to break their ships by singing to them at exactly the right pitch. Sarah nodded. And if you're wrong? Then we've got enough absorbed energy to run our engines at full power and try to escape. Commander Jackson spoke from the tactical station. Captain, they're regrouping. It looks like they're preparing for another coordinated attack. Sarah looked at the display showing 37 alien ships surrounding her vessel. Beautiful, deadly, and completely confident in their superior technology. Martinez, can our systems handle releasing all that stored energy at once? It won't be easy, Captain. We're talking about channeling the power output of 37 advanced weapons through our mining equipment. But the determination was built. Tough, she can handle it. High Arbiter Zekthol's voice returned. Human ship, your defensive capabilities are impressive but meaningless. We will simply continue to attack until your systems overload. You cannot win against the might of the Siltar hegemony. You're probably right, Sarah agreed. We can't win a traditional space battle against you. Lucky for us, humans don't fight traditional battles. She turned to her crew. Dr. Webb, lock onto the nearest alien ship. Martinez, prepare to discharge all stored energy through the mining array at Dr. Webb's calculated frequency. Captain? Webb said quietly. If this doesn't work, we'll have used up all our absorbed energy. We won't get another chance. Sarah thought about Earth, millions of miles away. She thought about the billions of people who were counting on her, crew to represent humanity well in their first contact with aliens. She thought about the alien commander's threat to visit Earth and teach humans proper respect. Then we'd better make sure it works, she said. All stations prepare for quantum cascade discharge. The bridge crew worked with practiced efficiency. These people had trained together for months, learning to operate the most advanced exploration ship humanity had ever built. Now they were about to use that training for something completely different. Targeting solution locked, Dr. Webb reported. Power systems ready, Martinez confirmed. All hands, brace for discharge, Sarah announced over the ship's intercom. This might get bumpy. High Arbiter Zekthul was giving orders to his fleet. All ships maximum firepower. Destroy that human vessel before they can attempt whatever foolish plan they are considering. 37 alien ships charged their weapons simultaneously. The space around the determination began to glow with gathering energy. Captain, they're about to fire everything they have, Commander Jackson warned. Sarah sat down in her captain's chair and fastened her safety harness. Perfect. More energy for us to work with. The alien fleet unleashed its full power. Every ship fired every weapon it had. The energy beams converged on the small human vessel like the focused rays of deadly suns. The determination's shields absorbed it all. Power systems at 400% capacity, Martinez called out. Captain, we're holding more energy than this ship was ever designed to handle. Then let's give it back to them, Sarah ordered. Fire quantum cascade array. Dr. Webb's finger pressed the firing control. The modified mining beam lanced out from the determination, carrying all the energy from 37 alien weapons plus the harmonic frequency that would resonate with crystalline hull material. The beam struck the nearest alien ship. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then the beautiful crystal hull began to vibrate. The vibration spread from the point where the beam hit, rippling across the entire surface of the ship like waves on a pond. The vibrations grew stronger. The crystal structure started to resonate at its natural harmonic frequency. And then, suddenly, the entire alien ship simply came apart. It didn't explode. It didn't burn. The crystalline hull just separated into millions of pieces, each one continuing to vibrate at the resonant frequency. The ship dissolved like sugar in water. High Arbiter Zekthul's voice filled the communication channel. But now it sounded shocked and frightened. What did you do to our ship? Physics, Dr. Webb said quietly. Sarah opened a channel to the alien fleet. High Arbiter, we tried to warn you. Human technology works differently than yours. We don't build ships to be beautiful. We build them to solve problems. This is impossible. You are a primitive species. Maybe. But we're a primitive species that just figured out how to turn your own weapons against you. Sarah paused. I'm going to give you the same choice you gave us. Withdraw your fleet immediately, or find out what else human engineering can accomplish. The alien ships began moving, but not to withdraw. They were spreading out, trying to avoid being hit by another mining beam. You destroyed one ship with a lucky shot, High Arbiter Zekthul declared. You cannot possibly target all of us. Dr. Webb looked at Sarah and smiled. Captain, the quantum cascade effect doesn't stop with one ship. The harmonic frequency we used will continue to spread through any crystalline material that resonates at the same frequency. Meaning if their ships are all made of the same material, we don't need to target each one individually. Sarah felt a cold smile spread across her face. Martinez, do we still have stored energy from their attack? Yes, Captain. Enough for several more discharges. Sarah looked at the tactical display showing 36 remaining alien ships. Each one was a masterpiece of advanced technology. Each one was probably crewed by beings who had never imagined that a primitive human ship could threaten them. High Arbiter, last chance, Sarah broadcast. Leave now, or learn why humans have survived every challenge our planet has ever thrown at us. The response was immediate. All 36 remaining alien ships opened fire at once, pouring their maximum firepower into the space where the determination waited. I really hoped they'd be smarter than that, Sarah said sadly. Fire all. Arrays. The quantum cascade mining beams shot out from the determination in multiple directions. Each beam carried the harmonic frequency that Dr. Webb had calculated, powered by the energy from 36 alien weapons firing at maximum power. The beams struck 6 different alien ships at once. What happened next would be recorded in history as the fastest space battle ever fought. The first ship began to vibrate just like the previous one, but this time, the harmonic resonance didn't stop there. The frequency spread from ship to ship through the quantum fields that connected their crystalline hulls. Captain Sarah Chen watched in amazement as the harmonic cascade effect jumped from one alien vessel to another, like electricity through water. The beautiful crystal ships began to dissolve one by one, their hulls separating into glittering particles that drifted through space. Captain, the resonance is spreading through their entire fleet, Dr. Webb reported, his voice filled with wonder and horror. Their crystal technology connects all the ships. They're all resonating at the same frequency. High Arbiter Zekthul's voice came over the communication system, but now it was filled with panic. "Stop this! Stop what you are doing to our ships!" "We can't stop it," Sarah replied honestly. "This is physics. Your crystalline hulls are all made from the same material. Once the harmonic resonance starts, it spreads to every connected structure. Ship after ship came apart." The alien crews were abandoning vessels as fast as they could, launching escape pods before their ships dissolved around them. The space around the determination filled with debris and emergency beacons. Chief Engineer Martinez watched her instruments, in disbelief. "Captain, we're reading the destruction of 37 advanced starships and it only took 14 seconds. Commander Jackson shook his head. "This wasn't supposed to be possible. A single exploration ship against an entire alien battle fleet. It shouldn't have been possible," Sarah agreed. "But they made a critical error. They assumed we would fight the same way they fight. They built their ships for beauty and power, all connected by quantum crystal technology. We built our ship to solve problems and adapt to new situations. The last alien ship came apart just as its crew escaped in emergency pods, where moments before there had been a mighty fleet of crystalline warships. Now there was only a cloud of glittering debris and dozens of small escape pods." Dr. Webb was studying his sensors carefully. "Captain, I'm detecting survival pods throughout the debris field. The alien crews survived, but their ships are completely destroyed." Sarah nodded. "Open a channel to the escape pods." "Channel open, Captain. This is Captain Sarah Chen of the UNS Determination. Your weapons fired first. Your ships threatened Earth and humanity. But we don't make war on helpless survivors." She paused. "We'll transmit your location to any rescue ships your people send. But if you or any other alien force returns to threaten humanity, remember what happened here today. High Arbiter." Zekthul's voice came from one of the escape pods, much quieter now. "How? How is this possible? The Siltar hegemony has conquered 1,000 worlds. Our crystal technology is the most advanced in the galaxy." "Maybe it is," Sarah said. "But advanced doesn't always mean better. Your crystal ships were connected together, which made them strong but also vulnerable. When we found the right frequency, your strength became your weakness. What manner of beings are you? What kind of species can turn mining equipment into weapons in the middle of a battle?" Dr. Webb answered before Sarah could. "We're humans. We solve problems. When you threatened us, we treated it as an engineering challenge." Sarah looked around her bridge at the crew who had just won humanity's first space battle. They weren't celebrating. They looked stunned by what they had accomplished. "Dr. Webb, begin full sensor scans of the debris field. I want to understand their technology completely." "Already on it, Captain. The crystalline material is fascinating. Even broken down, it's still showing quantum properties that could revolutionize our own ship designs." Chief Martinez was checking her systems. "Captain, our power levels are back to normal. The ship handled the energy discharge better than expected. All systems show green across the board. Any damage from their weapons? None at all. Their energy attacks actually improved our power efficiency. I'm reading upgrades to several systems that I don't fully understand yet." Sarah turned to Lieutenant Torres. Open a quantum channel to Earth Command, Priority Alpha. Within minutes, Admiral Harrison's face appeared on the main screen. He looked confused and concerned. Captain Chen, we're reading massive energy discharges. From your position, are you under attack? Not anymore, sir. The alien fleet that threatened Earth has been neutralized. Admiral Harrison blinked. Neutralized? Captain, our last communication showed you facing 37 enemy vessels. That's correct, sir. All 37 have been destroyed. The alien crews survived and are in escape pods. The Admiral stared at her for a long moment. Captain, did you just tell me that a single exploration ship defeated an entire alien battle fleet? Yes, sir. Dr. Webb discovered a weakness in their crystalline hull technology. We were able to exploit that weakness using our mining equipment. Mining equipment? Dr. Webb stepped forward. Admiral, we converted our quantum cascade mining arrays into harmonic resonance weapons. The alien ship's greatest strength was also their greatest vulnerability. Admiral Harrison rubbed his forehead. Captain, do you understand what this means? Humanity's first contact with aliens ended with us destroying their entire fleet. Sarah felt the weight of that responsibility. Yes, sir, but they fired first. They threatened Earth, and they made it clear they intended to invade our homeworld. What's the current situation? All alien vessels are destroyed. We have survivor pods scattered throughout the area. Our ship is undamaged, and we've collected extensive data on alien technology. The Admiral nodded slowly. Captain, you and your crew have just changed the course of human history. This victory will send a message across the galaxy that humanity is not to be underestimated. Sarah looked at the debris field on her screen. Somewhere in that glittering cloud were the remains of ships that had traveled between stars for centuries. Technology that represented the peak of an advanced civilization, all destroyed in 14 seconds by human engineering and determination. Sir, what are your orders? Collect as much data as you can. Document everything. And, Captain, prepare for the possibility that other alien species will want to test humanity's strength after word of this battle spreads. The communication ended. Sarah sat back in her captain's chair and looked at her crew. Well, people, we came out here to make peaceful contact with alien life. Commander Jackson smiled grimly. Instead, we just proved that humans can hold their own in a hostile galaxy. Dr. Webb was still studying his sensor readings. Captain, the implications of what we've learned here could advance human technology by decades, maybe centuries. Sarah nodded. Then let's get to work. We have a lot to learn before we go home. Outside the ship, the debris of 37 alien warships glittered in the light of distant stars. And somewhere in the quantum communication networks that connected civilizations across the galaxy, word was already spreading about the small human ship that had achieved the impossible. The galaxy would never look at humanity the same way again. 3 days after the battle, Captain Sarah Chen stood in the Determination's main laboratory watching Dr. Webb study pieces of alien crystal technology. The debris field around their ship had provided enough material to keep the science team busy for months. Captain, this is incredible, Dr. Webb said, holding up a fragment of crystalline hull material. Even destroyed, this crystal maintains quantum connections with other pieces. It's like the entire alien fleet was one giant organism. Chief Engineer, Martinez looked up from a disassembled alien power core. The energy systems are remarkable too. They generate power by manipulating quantum fields directly. If we could adapt this to our fusion reactors, how long before we can implement improvements? To our own systems? Sarah asked. With the ship's fabrication equipment? Maybe a week for basic upgrades. Full integration could take months. Sarah nodded and walked to the main display showing the quantum communication traffic they had been monitoring. Ever since the battle ended, the galaxy's communication networks had been buzzing with activity. Torres, any new alien communications? Communications Officer Torres shook her head. Nothing directed at us, Captain. But we're intercepting a lot of general traffic. The news of what happened here is spreading fast. Dr. Webb had translated some of the alien languages using data recovered from the Siltar ships. The conversations they had intercepted were both fascinating and worrying. Species across the galaxy were trying to understand how a single human ship had destroyed an entire Siltar fleet. Some thought it was impossible, and dismissed the reports as propaganda. Others were already making plans. "Captain, incoming transmission from Earth Command," Torres announced. Admiral Harrison appeared on the screen, but he wasn't alone. Sarah recognized Secretary General Martinez of the United Nations and several other high-ranking officials. "Captain Chen, I'm here with the UN Security Council. We need a full report on the implications of your victory." Sarah had been preparing for this conversation. "Admiral, we've learned that the galaxy contains hundreds of spacefaring civilizations. Most of them are organized into confederations or hegemonies like the Siltar. And how do they view humanity now?" asked the Secretary General. Dr. Webb stepped forward. "Ma'am, based on the communications we've intercepted, the galaxy is divided. Some species want to establish diplomatic relations with us immediately. They see us as potential allies. And the others?" Admiral Harrison asked. "They see us as a threat that needs to be eliminated before we become more powerful." The room was quiet for a moment. Sarah could see the weight of responsibility settling on the faces of Earth's leaders. "Captain, what's your assessment of our situation?" the Secretary General asked. Sarah chose her words carefully. "Ma'am, we've proven that human ingenuity can overcome superior technology, but we were lucky. The Siltar made tactical errors that we were able to exploit. Other species might not be so careless. What do you recommend?" "We need to accelerate our space program immediately. Build more ships, establish colonies, and prepare for the fact that we're no longer alone in the universe." Admiral Harrison nodded. "Captain, how long before you can return to Earth with the alien technology?" Chief Martinez answered. "Admiral, with the upgrades we're making using alien technology, we can cut our return time in half. We should reach Earth in 3 months instead of 6. "Excellent. Captain, you have new orders. Return to Earth immediately with all data and technology samples. Humanity needs to prepare for whatever comes next." The communication ended. Sarah looked around at her crew. They had started this mission as explorers and scientists. Now they were humanity's first line of defense in a hostile galaxy. "Captain," Commander Jackson said, "are you sure we should leave? There might be more alien fleets coming to investigate what happened here." "That's exactly why we need to get home," Sarah replied. "Earth needs this technology, and they need to know what we've learned about the galaxy." Dr. Webb was studying a star chart showing alien territories. "Captain, based on the communications we've intercepted, I think we have maybe 6 months before someone decides to test humanity's strength again." "What makes you think that?" "There's something called the Galactic Council. It's a loose confederation of the most powerful species. They're meeting to discuss the human problem." Sarah felt a chill. The human problem? Some council members want to establish formal diplomatic relations. Others want to destroy Earth before humanity can build a fleet. Torres looked up from her station. "Captain, I'm detecting new ships entering the system. 3 vessels, unknown configuration." Sarah's heart raced. "Battle stations? Wait," Dr. Webb said, studying the sensor readings. "Captain, these ships aren't approaching aggressively. They're maintaining distance and transmitting on diplomatic frequencies." "What are they saying?" Torres worked to translate the signal. It's in several languages, including English. They're requesting permission to communicate. Sarah thought quickly. These could be more hostile aliens, or they could be the first friendly contact humanity had made. Either way, this conversation would be important. Open a channel, but keep our shields ready. A new voice filled the bridge, speaking clear English with a musical accent. "Human vessel, this is Ambassador Veltar of the Cosmic Alliance. We come in peace to speak with the ship that defeated the Siltar hegemony. This is Captain Sarah Chen. What do you want to discuss?" "Captain Chen, your species has accomplished something remarkable. In 14 seconds, you destroyed a fleet that had terrorized systems for centuries. The Alliance wishes to offer humanity membership in our confederation." Sarah looked at her crew. This was definitely not what they had expected. "Ambassador, we're honored by your offer, but humanity will need time to consider such an important decision." "Of course, Captain. But you should know that time may be limited. Other powers in the galaxy see humanity as a threat. They are already Making plans to eliminate your species before you become more dangerous. Dr. Webb stepped forward. Ambassador, what can you tell us about the Galactic Council? Ah, you've been monitoring communications. Very wise. The ambassador's tone became serious. The council is meeting in 1 month. They will decide humanity's fate. Some members want to welcome you as equals. Others want to ensure you never leave your home system again. Sarah felt the weight of humanity's future settling on her shoulders. What does the Alliance recommend? Build your fleet as quickly as possible. Establish colonies on multiple worlds, and most importantly, continue to demonstrate that humanity can defend itself. Is that a threat? No, Captain, it's reality. The galaxy respects strength above all else. Your victory over the Siltar has earned you respect, but it has also made you enemies. The communication continued for another hour. The Alliance offered to share technology and provide intelligence about hostile species. In return, they wanted access to human engineering methods and military alliance. After the aliens left, Sarah called a meeting of her senior staff. Opinions? She asked. Commander Jackson spoke first. Captain, we're in over our heads. One battle doesn't make us ready to handle galactic politics. Maybe not, Dr. Webb said. But we can't ignore the situation, either. The galaxy knows about us now. Chief Martinez was studying the technical data the Alliance had provided. Captain, their technology is different from the Siltar, but I think we could adapt it. More importantly, they're offering to teach us how other species build their ships and weapons. Sarah nodded. Torres, prepare a full report for Earth Command. Include everything we've learned about the galaxy, the Alliance offer, and the threats we're facing. Yes, Captain. Sarah walked to the main viewport and looked out at the stars. 3 days ago, those stars had seemed full of infinite possibility. Now she knew they were full of civilizations that might want to destroy humanity, but they were also full of potential allies and incredible opportunities. Set course for Earth, Sarah ordered. Maximum speed. As the determination began its journey, Sarah thought about the billions of people on Earth who were about to learn that they lived in a galaxy full of wonders and dangers. Humanity had taken its first steps into a larger universe. Where those steps led would depend on how quickly they could learn, adapt, and grow. But if the battle with the Siltar had proven anything, it was that humans were very good at finding solutions to impossible problems. The galaxy was about to learn what that really meant.